2 wins, is that something that at the beginning you told us you got the players that were available, but now with the 2 wins, are you happy with the current roster, or do you need to win the trophy to feel a little bit better about that?
I think for us, I'm focused on the process, and right now in our journey, it's important that we provide the opportunities to less experienced players and to do it in a tournament setting. And as I stated on the front end, there won't be perfection in performance, but as long as we're progressing, then that's what our aims are, and our focus is to stay focused on that and not to just solely look at the results column. That's not our only indicator of future success.
What role do you expect the veteran players to play on this team, especially against a team as familiar as Japan?
Well, I think it's fair to say Japan as a team are more played in together than we are. So their connections and their application of their way of playing will probably be more pronounced than ours. But that's not to say we can't have success. And it doesn't matter if you have 150 plus caps or your third cap. It's about us playing our way, in our style, with our principles, and to execute that at another level, which is what this game will be. So I expect it to be a very, very difficult match for us, and difficult in a different way from the Olympics, because Japan have shifted from playing 5 at the back to 4 at the back, and I certainly think they're committing more numbers going forward and not just in transition. So we have to be extremely disciplined when we're without the ball, and when we're with it we have to make the impact in the way that we know best.
You spoke the other day about the team probably suffering a little bit during tomorrow's game. Can you get into the details of why that's so important for these inexperienced players that you have?
Well, I think we have to be relative with when I say that. I mean, it was the beautiful sun out. We're in San Diego. Like, it's really not like suffering is like I think over the top. But with that, I mean that when you're playing against teams that are waiting for you to press, waiting for you to jump out of areas so they can increase their own pass sequencing, you have to learn to resist in the wrong moments. So that takes a lot of discipline and a lot of tactical understanding, of which we haven't been doing that with this group for very long. So if you make the spaces bigger between you, they will destroy us in terms of their style of play. So for us, we have to be so succinct in that, and as I said, going forward, maintain the patience to progress the ball up the pitch in the way that we have done during my tenure, and something that I want to keep elevating is so important to us. So it's the combination of things, and it's very taxing on the brain, because dealing with overloads in different situations, which Japan will present those threats, you have to keep this muscle extremely fresh.
Katerina Macario being from here, what's it been like for you to see her, especially coming off last summer, to get healthy and make an impact the way she did last week?
Well, I mentioned the other night, I'm so happy for her after a long absence out of the national team to not just get a start, but to produce the performance that she did. I think a player that's been out that long, she's still building, and that will take a bit of time, and I don't think we will see the best Katerina Macario or the best version of herself just yet, but she's certainly going in the right direction with that, and she gives our team something else. And she's got a swagger to her, and her hold-up play is exceptional. She reads it so well, and as she showed with her timing into the box, I think her box play is very, very good. So I'm happy for her. She's home, and looking forward to her contributions tomorrow.
since Snapdragon opened, it's become kind of a regular visit for the national team. What are your expectations, just the atmosphere, the setting tomorrow?
Well, it's a nice name. I like that. My expectations are it's a final, so it feels like a final, which is great. So let's make it difficult for the opponent. We're the home team, so let's make it count. And I'm just looking forward to being in another great city and, produce a performance, I hope, that is another step in the direction that we want to go in.
Hey Coach, this is Joseph with the Bet On Her Collective. You were recently on a podcast where you said you wanted to architect a blueprint for the female game globally. I was wondering, we're here in this beautiful facility, you've set a record in Arizona in terms of attendance. How do you feel like the progress has been so far in your tenure?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, I think we'd have had a record in Houston if it wouldn't have been for the cold weather. But, our goal is to work with everyone across the federation, our commercial team, our marketing teams, our comms teams, to ensure that we select the best possible venues and give ourselves the best possible chance to play in front of the most amount of numbers. And I think that blueprint is being designed in the background so that we can, in the lead up to a major tournament, really try and intensify the atmospheres that we're creating at the stadium. That's one part of it. But for us, our strategy is to make sure that the female lens is at the heart of everything we do. And I mean in a profound way. So not just in terms of executing that for WNT and YNT, but to have a bigger impact on the larger girls and women's game, which I'm sure will take a long time to do, but something that I'm definitely setting in motion, and that work will, I hope, be ongoing long beyond my time.
Anything else, Rema? Go ahead.
You were talking about how the performance is obviously, you're trying to progress this team, but obviously tomorrow feels like a must-win game if you want to win that trophy. How do you sort of balance the expectations of performance versus results with this group right now?
Well, I think you start by not talking about it. We all want the same thing, but and the results, of course, are important, but they are not the indicators of whether we're going in the right direction or not. I think we are the less experienced team tomorrow. But that's not to say we can't win or we don't want to win. But for us, it's important that we keep improving. Like that's part of our growth mindset, to get to the end of this tournament and say, okay, did we do everything we set out to do in terms of simulate in a tournament setting? Yes, we've done that. Did we increase the players' learning around our blueprint, our way of playing? Yes, tick, we did that one. Did we deepen the pool and the playing opportunities under pressure for many of our players? Tick, we did that one. They were our three objectives. So for us, it's a road, it's a journey to where we're going, and this is just one step in the 10 blocks that we've got that are leading us towards a major tournament. So our focus is on that.
And is everybody fit and available for selection tomorrow?
I wouldn't tell you that anyway, but purely because it is a final, and I think it's important that I say that, because no coach can ever know that prior to a training session, because they have to train and come through that training session, and seeing as the vast majority of them didn't train yesterday, I won't know that till the end. So that's why I always have the press conference before.